Hi, this is Kevin Jones. I'm the Executive Director of SACIA. You're probably aware that next week we're holding elections for our new board. Very excited. We have 9 candidates to fill 5 board seats that are currently vacant. One of the candidates that's participating in our elections is Paul Nel. And so, Paul, I thought I would just invite you to join me for a quick chat and learn a little bit more about you. So tell us about your involvement with the communications industry.
Well, basically, I started off in 1980 while still studying at university. I joined the SABC dubbing department. I then started producing corporate videos. I then did my national service and was found a member of the South African Police Video Unit, which was really interesting. It was the only option available to me at that time, other than doing a national service fighting a war on the border I didn't agree with. So for my pains, I served 4 years there. I then, after that, went into the private sector and basically have spent 40 years hence doing all sorts of work in the broadcast industry, including radio. I've been a radio presenter on 3 different stations in my time, and service of voiceover artists as well. I'm a registered cinematographer. I've shot 9 films, and I've done countless television series and worked on news programming, TV news programming over the 40-year period.
Okay.
Both locally and internationally.
So lots of experience in the broad audio-visual sector.
Yes.
And throughout that time, I know you're relatively new to SACIA, but you've been very involved with the Society of Cinematographers. So perhaps you can tell us a little bit about what you've been doing within the Society of Cinematographers and how that relates to your future contribution to SACIA.
I've been a board member since 2015, and what we've largely been involved with is making both the SASC and SACIA more well-known. In other words, increasing exposure amongst our members and other people. A lot must still be done, and we've been stymied with various factors, including costs related to marketing this kind of endeavor. But we've certainly made it known to our base. And I think going forward, it's very important to effectively promote SACIA and other organizations under its umbrella in order to alert people to the fact that it's a professional body with professionals. So anyone who falls under the SACIA banner, and later on indeed under SAC or SAGE or whoever the component association is in fact a certified professional. And that's very important, I believe, in South Africa now and going forward, because of the plethora of individuals and small companies we have in the sector now that are working, are taking money from clients, and are not quite up to par. And this tends to give the industry a bad name. And applying for certification shows peers and potential customers, including the government, that the person who has been certified knows what they're doing. They've been evaluated and assessed by their peers. They have an accordant SACIA accreditation is not the right word. I can't think of it at the moment.
Designation.
Certification, is it?
Designation.
Designation. Correct. So it's for the first time in the history of this country, and in terms of the media sector, that this kind of professional designation is and has been awarded. And like I said, it's a very important going forward, because we have to know that the professionals that are working in this industry are up to speed. And it doesn't mean because you have a certificate or a diploma or a degree from an institution that you necessarily fulfill all of the professional criteria. It's a good background, but once you get into working hands-on in the industry, there are so many variables, and because of the proliferation of cheaper equipment, etc., everyone who works on camera, for instance, is suddenly a cinematographer or a DOP, and that is not the case.
So,
and when you're relying on people to deliver a professional product and it doesn't happen, the questions are asked, and this is a way of acting or serving as a precursor to avoid that happening.
so if I had to ask you very specifically, assuming that you're elected to the SACIA board, what would you like to contribute? What would you like to achieve over the next 2 years?
Firstly, I'd like to be involved in making this process more widely available in terms of knowledge base. People need to know that they can join SACIA and what the benefits are. We've already interacted, for instance, with a medical insurance company who are very keen to provide their extremely low-cost product at a very low premium to our members. And that is a huge thing within our industry, because it's you don't, as a freelancer, and very often as an employee, don't have access to medical aids and medical insurance. So I've been working very hard at that in the background as well. But I think going forward, it's more closely associated with the marketing of SACIA and the physical application thereof, i.e. putting videos together, and being part of a mentorship and training program where we can get youngsters in and actually offer them hands-on service and exposure to productions with colleagues from the SASC and other entities, just to show them what can be achieved and how to go about it in essence.
Sounds great. So we're going to be hosting a webinar with all nominees on Monday morning. If anybody has any questions for Paul, please send them in. Just send them to me, questions@sacia.org.za. And yeah, that's specifically, if you have questions for Paul, send them in and we'll put them to Paul on Monday. Thank you very much.